At this point, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. A dead horse named Brian Thompson, aka BT Underdog, or as he's now going by on Twitter, BT Rabbit or whatever. Basically, he's one of the biggest realist fanatics, aka a stan of one Monica Jean Real. And I am seriously getting sick of him flapping his gums on Twitter. I do my damnedest to ignore this son of a bitch. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I blocked him so I can't hear him, but many people are getting. But, dude, it's been 2.5 years. You've been flapping your gums. I'm saying that those on ISWV have been going after Monica for the same amount of time. To that, I say the answer is yes and no. There are some who have dealt death threats to Monica. But most on our side that have threatened Monica, but most of us are just waiting for karma to come back around and bite her in the ass without staining our own hands with her tainted blood. I think somewhere in Ecclesiastes 3, it says there's a time to keep silent and a time to speak. But unfortunately, BT, you don't seem to understand when that time is to keep quiet. Because you just love to stick your foot in your mouth and run it. If we ever met in person, and if I ever did decide, out of just morbid curiosity, to go to a convention where Monica is going to pop up, I'd be more than happy to stick my foot in your mouth and close it. Big if I opted to show up at any con she's gonna be at. And this is just 2 days removed after having a pretty decent 3.5-minute conversation with Vic on Twitch. Which on Wednesday night. That said, the reason I'm not on Twitter as much as I should be is because of sycophant rabid dogs like you, BT, Brian. It's because of individuals like you, no one amongst the realists will be even willing to have a civil conversation with anyone who is I stand with Vic, and vice versa. But then again, many of the Real fan club are either too caught up in their fanaticism with this. How can I put this about Monica? Got it. Greedy, wanton, petty, spiteful, jealous, pulsating, bloated, festering, sweaty, pus-filled, malformed, slug for a butt whore. And two-faced skunk who ruined the character of Bulma for me and a slew of others. I mean, sure, Monica got what she wanted. Vic Mignogna out of Funimation, Rooster Teeth, and virtually out of the voice acting industry as a whole. But in the process, she lost what she had. Credibility, fan respect, and the trust of the community. Not a sacrifice worth making, if you ask me. And I pity her because, well, she's the one in a toxic relationship with a man who is known as a narcissistic sociopath in the form of Ronald Toya III, an aggressive monger of attention. If I were you, Monica, I'd get out of that relationship as fast as possible. Call off the engagement and bid farewell to that piece of garbage forever. But since I'm a Vic fan, you're not going to listen to this kind of advice. Especially advice from someone who had to witness his mother suffer through 23 of 28 years of a terrible marriage. With a control freak who's now basically on a cognitive decline with early onset Alzheimer's. Or his disease. It's rather sad and it's rather sickening when you think about it. That some people just don't know when to shut up. And some people just don't get a clue when they realize that the reason for their downfalls is of their own misdeeds. Not because of others. You could have gone up to bat, Monica, and said that it was for Vic, and said it was Elric who did that, not him. Instead, you saw this as an opportunity to get rid of him and agreed with the bullshit article. The words of fools are like poison, and they trap themselves with their lips. Not sure if I got that right, but I'll double check. Oh. The mouths of fools are their ruin, and they trap themselves with their lips. Proverbs 18:7. Yeah, haven't done that in a while. I've been laying off getting overly biblical in many of these rants as of late, as many of you would have probably noticed. That said, I stand with Vic, now, then, and forever. Smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye, and good night. Bang!